Thank you very much, everybody. And a very big hello, Las Vegas. We love you, Las Vegas. And hello to Nevada. I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. It's great. It's great. And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I don't think so. What do you think? No way. Nah, you were much better off 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and 7 years ago, and 8 years ago. This is terrible what's happening to our country. This is terrible. We have people that are grossly incompetent. We have the worst president in the history of the United States. We have the worst vice president in the history of the United States. And unlike us here tonight, we have an intelligent group of people. You have a man that doesn't need teleprompters. Wasn't that nice? But in Georgia tonight, they say that Kamala has just absolutely bombed. She's bombed. It's the big story. In fact, I was going to watch it. I didn't want to come out. I wanted to watch that first. Isn't that terrible? Then I could explain to you what happened, but I hear it was bad tonight. But it's always bad. It's always bad. But I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. And with your vote in this election, we will end inflation. We, all of us together, we will stop the invasion. And we will bring back the American dream, something you haven't heard about for about 4 years. Think about it. 4 years ago, we had no inflation. We were energy independent. We were strong as hell. Nobody was playing games with us. Nobody was threatening us. The Middle East wasn't fighting. Russia wasn't going into Ukraine. They never would have gone. What a shame. What a mess we are in. The world, the whole world is in a mess. And nuclear war with incompetent people looms. Don't kid yourself. We've never been so close. Our country is being crippled and destroyed by Kamala Harris and Biden, but he's like not even the president. What's going on with this guy? You know, we're supposed to be talking about the president. We're talking about the vice president who got no votes. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a big fan, as you probably know. But, you know, we had a debate. He didn't do particularly well. I wouldn't say it was the greatest. It was not Winston Churchill. Do we agree? The late, great Winston Churchill, who was a great debater. This was not. But he didn't do well. But he went down. And they should have let him. I mean, he got 14 million votes. She got no votes. And now she's imploding worse than him. She's actually imploding, if you take a look. Because, look, I'm not supposed to say it, but we are leading by so much. Now we're leading by a lot in Nevada. We're leading by a lot in Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Even states that are typically never in play for 50, 60, 70 years, they seem of getting close. Sir, New Hampshire is in play. I said, oh, that's nice. Let's make a trip. Let's make a trip. But the fact is that states, other states too, big states, are all in play. And they like us, but you know what? They think she is grossly incompetent, let's face it. She is not doing well. We can't have her as president. Can't have. We've had that for 4 years. We're not going to go another 4 years. She broke it, and I promise you I will fix it, and we'll fix it fast. With your support on November 5th, America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence, failure, and disaster, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We can do that. It's not too late. It's not too late. A couple of years like this, it will be too late. You'll never put it together again. After all the catastrophes that she has caused, Kamala Harris can't say one thing that she'd do differently. Did you see that the other night? Would you name one thing? How about 20? Would you name like 25, 30? But I'm asking you to be excited about the future of our country again. You're going to be excited. Because this will be America's new golden age. It's going to be the golden age of America. You watch. You watch. And we're off to a little bit of a bad start because we're starting around the minus 30-yard line. But we'll catch up fast. We'll clean up our country. We'll get the criminals the hell out of here that are pouring in. Right? Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands because we can't go any longer. We're taking it right up to the edge. Nevada, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough. You can't take it anymore. She's the worst vice president. She's grossly incompetent. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Fired. Fired. Get out. Get the hell out of here. We gotta fix our country. We gotta fix up our country. It's a nation in decline, Kamala. Get the hell out of here. The polls are open for early voting in Nevada every day from now to November 1st. So get your husband. Hank, get the hell out of the couch, Hank. Get up, get that big fat ass of yours. We're gonna go and vote for the president. We're gonna turn our country around, Hank. Come on, let's go, Hank. Right? So get out, vote Republican up and down the ballot. We're gonna do a real job. With your help, 12 days from now, 12 days. We've been waiting for 4 years. Now think of it, we did great in 2016. I hate to tell you, we did much better, like millions and millions of votes better. But you know what, now, what we do is gonna be bigger. This will be the biggest political event in the history of our country if we win. With your help, 12 days from now, we are going to win Nevada, we are going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we are going to make America great again. Right? Thank you. What spirit? What spirit? It's like a pent-up, isn't it? It's like pent-up spirit. That's crazy. It's like a boiler waiting to explode. You've been waiting for this so long. Get out and vote. We can't take any chances. Got to get out and vote. That's why they say, don't say how well we're doing, sir. Please, please. We got to get If you say how well, they'll say, oh, we don't have to vote. The president, and then they throw a couple of more votes in there, right? No, we can't let that happen. No, you have to get out and vote. If Kamala gets 4 more years, she will obliterate our economy, kill millions of jobs, kill thousands of people too, by the way, and destroy your family finances, probably forever. Kamala's inflation has already cost the typical family over $30,000 in higher prices. They all talk, everybody I speak to, they talk about groceries. You know, such a basic term, groceries. the groceries, they mean every single item of grocery, because your foods have gone up 50, 60, 70%, much more than the fake news tells you. Look at the, oh, that's a lot of fake news. Man, that is a lot of fake news. I don't believe it. Wow. You know, they sort of have a death wish because they don't want to follow me, but they have to because those ratings. Ultimately, it's ratings first for them. Country about fifth. I'd say country is about fifth or sixth, right? The great Vivek. Stand up, Vivek. We have Marco Rubio. We have everybody. Marco. We have Marco. We went to a Latino restaurant. They saw Marco. They went crazy. And now she wants to raise taxes on the typical Las Vegas family by an average of $5,000 a year. The only one I've ever known campaigning and raising taxes. Take a look at the video, please.
To get rid of that tax bill, calling for a full repeal of President Trump's tax cuts.
If Kamala Harris was elected president, there are many different tax policies which could cripple the economy, but the first thing she wants to do is allow these Trump tax cuts to expire.
Even the New York Times admits that 85% of the middle class got a tax cut.
Americans will face a hike. The Tax Foundation finding that a couple with 2 kids making $165,000 a year would have to pay over $2,400 more in taxes.
And on day one, I will repeal that tax bill. Joe Biden and I are about to work to get rid of that tax cut. Joe and I are about to get rid of that tax bill. Joe Biden and I are about to get rid of that tax cut.
Everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic. We've got to increase the corporate tax rate. Part of that is going to be about repealing that tax bill that they just passed. And also looking at estate taxes are going to have to go up. We will tax capital gains.
But we're going to have to raise corporate taxes.
Taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word.
Well, the value of your home goes up. You pay higher taxes even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way the stock moves to say, we're going to tax what you don't have. That's a sore point, and it's a big deal. Is that something you think she firmly believes in?
I think it's part of the proposals of the campaign.
Under my plan, there will also be a carbon fee. There has to be some connection between the fee and bad behaviors, and there has to be, and that we have to monitor whether it's going to be passed on to consumers. But I'm going to tell you that should never be the reason not to actually put a fee, and in particular, a carbon fee.
And that's just the beginning with her. Think of it, she wants to tax, think of what this means. She wants to tax unrealized gains. In other words, you don't know if you have a gain or not. Like Danica over here, she makes a fortune. She makes so much money. I wonder if she would mind paying unrealized, because someday you may have a gain. Let's tax it. I don't know. Danica Patrick, great. I've been a fan of yours so long. So talented and so beautiful, but I'm not allowed to say that as a politician, so I will withdraw that statement. You know, today if you say somebody's beautiful, it's the end of your political career. I don't think so. Thank you very much, Danica. But this is the only woman or man, this is the only person I've ever seen that's campaigning on tax hikes. She's going to raise your taxes maybe 70%, maybe 80%. All my life, I grew up in this stuff, and I'd watch the politicians, and we will cut your taxes. I say it because it's true. I'm going to cut your taxes. I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country and the biggest regulation cuts in the history, and we're going to cut them further. That's more like a good politician, but it's also somebody that knows how it has to work. We need that. The people don't have the money. We're going to get your interest rates down, too, by the way. Kamala also launched a war on tip workers and service workers here in Nevada, increasing the so-called tip. You know, she wants to. When I said no tax on tips, remember? A month later, she comes out, and we will have no tax on tips. She never said that. And she's never said it again. You're not going to get it. We're going to have no tax on tips. She wanted to increase and did increase the so-called tip allocation tax rate by 60%. She raised your tax. And then she's supposed to say, no tax on tips. In other words, even after Kamala wrecked your economy with inflation, she came after you with tip income, sort of like a vulture would do. If she gets 4 more years, Kamala Harris will pick your pocket spare. By contrast, I will massively cut taxes for workers, and in particular, we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. All three are very good for this room. Which is the most? Let's do a poll, free poll. I won't have to pay $700,000. Which do you like more? Ready? We'll go tips, overtime, Social Security. Which is the way? Which is the, because you guys, I mean, you sort of have them in this state, you have them all. Tips is great, but overtime is great too. Ready? Vote for one. You can only, let's assume you can only have one, which you can't. You're going to get all three. What do you like best? Free poll for Trump. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. What is that? Okay. No tax on Social Security benefits for this year. That's amazing. See, the seniors always win. They always win. Under the Trump administration, we're going to build an economy that lifts